What's up, guys? It's your girl Stacey Cake, your host for What's Hot, and today I'm here to react to the trailer for Evil Dead Burn. I saw this trailer in the movies against my will because I saw when they posted this trailer and I did not watch it because Evil Dead Rise made my skin freaking crawl. Great movie, great horror movie. Definitely hit the head on the nail with mixing the jump scares with the gore and the discomfort and all of the things that you should get from watching something like this. But it was a lot for me. I was overstimulated, so I was purposely avoiding this trailer. And then I go to the movies. I forgot. I think I was going to see Obsession. If you haven't seen my video about Obsession, make sure you check that out. I was seeing Obsession, and they played this freaking trailer. Oh my gosh. I'm like, here we go again. So since I've already seen it, I said, well, I might as well watch it again and react for you guys. So if you like this type of content, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, and let's get into it. Already starting off sharp as a tack.
Alice? What's wrong?
Look at how they transition between people, like showing their faces. The fast, like, pans to each person. And I ain't never forgave him from the Wednesday series. My desk just fell over while I was talking to y'all. I'm gonna pretend like that didn't just happen. Missing the fingers too. Oh, the yellow nails. That's some irony right there. I feel like that going through the side of her face is a little phony though.
I would give anything for us to be together again.
And why the house always gotta look old and creepy?
The devil would return if anyone read from the Book of the Dead.
Cool down. The whole family can be reunited. Cheers to your perfect family.
Oh, bitch, that's Satan. That's Satan. Oh! Oh, man. Okay, so let's get into some details that you guys like maybe. Okay, so let's get into some details that you guys may have missed while watching the trailer. Maybe not. I'm just gonna go over a couple because this is still early, and this franchise is just a lot for me to process. I am not an OG Evil Dead franchise fan. I didn't even watch any of them except Evil Dead Rise. And yeah, after I saw that, I was a bit overstimulated, but they did what they had to do, and I give them their props. It was just a lot for me. It was just a lot. Like, my skin was like crawling watching that movie. But we're here. I'm gonna go see Evil Dead Burn, and I want to point out a few things that just really stood out for me while watching the film. One detail that stood out for me was actually towards the end. It was when we see the possessed girl drink the hot wax from the candle and she drinks it back, and then it cuts to the title. I think this was an incredibly creatively brilliant detail in transition, not necessarily just for the movie, but for the trailer itself, because we get to see her drinking this hot candle and then it goes to Evil Dead Burn. And that's kind of like obvious but unspoken connection there, because the wax should have burned her. But she's already burning in hell with this possession, so it ain't affecting her. Everything is hot. Okay, everything is hot. So we go from drinking the hot candle wax that should burn to the title sequence Evil Dead Burn. I thought that was a detail that really stuck out for me. Another detail that stuck out for me was the yellow nails on the same individual. We get to see her other hand is chopped off, but she has yellow nails on. And yellow, what I've learned about color and film, like yellow is a very whimsical, happy, kind of quirky, weird color, and it kind of speaks to a personality of a character. And I think them having that detail of her having yellow nails and being kind of this happy person to now being this like kind of oppressive, violent, evil entity that is driving this trailer is just chef's kiss in showing us the contrast of who she was to what we're seeing now in this kind of like unfolding of horrific events. Yeah. Another thing that I pointed out while I was watching this trailer was in the intro where we first get to see the characters kind of coming in contact with each other. We have this quick pan between characters, a quick transition. And I think that's very suggestive of things are unfolding rapidly, things are getting intense quickly, and we kind of get that quick between characters. And I love that they included the swivel, because a lot of times in movies we cut quickly between faces, but this swivel was just so profound and just stood out so much to me that I think it's definitely communicating with the viewer, and like, okay, like it's kind of putting the viewer in the mindset of a head turn. It's like, what's happening, like that vibe. And I love that, and that's letting me know, girl, your blood pressure about to be up again. It's upping the tension and the intensity that the viewer is experiencing, and I don't think we get to bask in it quite well in the while watching the trailer, but I think it's something that's going to be lend very well when you're sitting in the theater and seeing the full context of the scene. I just think I love that cinematic decision. Another detail I noticed while watching the trailer is that we get a glimpse of a funeral that's taking place, and something that really stands out to me is that the flower, the rose that is laid on the casket, is the most colorful thing in that scene. And usually we see a lot of wood tones or black while watching or while viewing or being at funerals, but in this everything was white, and then we have just deep red and green rose that just seems much more vibrant than everything else in the scene, including the red lips of the woman speaking. And that's something that really stood out to me. So I'm like, okay, like let's look up the meaning of a red rose. And when you look up the meaning of a red rose, it says it's a universal symbol of romantic love, passion, and deep desire. Now, this seemed like a small gathering of friends or family at this funeral or viewing, but then we kind of hear some talk about bringing somebody, almost it seems like discussion of bringing somebody back to life or being a complete family again. And so I think this is just very symbolic of that desire and love for the person that was gone. And how is this impacting this family that's going to lead to somebody to make a poor decision, which seems to be the girl with the pink hair. She is going to read from the Book of the Damned. This is going to lead to a series of serious, horrifying, terrifying, fatal events, because y'all are playing with the devil, as they love to do in these movies. So yeah, I think that was just a very like almost peculiar or odd touch to me, and it just really stood out to me. I think that's something that people, yes, it was vibrant, but you could be more focused on like who is that died versus like the actual flower itself. So I definitely wanted to highlight that and keep that in mind when I'm going into watch this movie. Obviously, there's more fire that kind of we see things set ablaze, just kind of on and off throughout this trailer. Obviously, tying things back to this title tier, Evil Dead Burn. We see someone looks like their skin is like melting off, just really tying us to symbolism related to hell. And especially, which makes sense given that we're dealing with the devil, you know, hell is considered a hot place. So, you know, the devil is very alive in this film. And I just, you know, ask the Lord to cover me mind, body, and spirit as I consume this content with him in mind. Amen. But yes, I think again, they just did a very great job of just tying things together with details here and just letting us know a little bit of what we're in for without spoiling the whole thing. But can we talk about the dishwasher scene, because that messed up my head a little bit, you know, like that was giving Final Destination type trauma, like for real. And then she got on top of him and pushed his back down on the knives and forks. Horrible. Like, who is thinking of this stuff? Crazy, but I'm gonna still go see it though. But yeah, I'm gonna rate this trailer a 5 out of 5 flames. I can't slight them for nothing because I'm terrified all the time. They really have ruined me. So this might be a biased rating, but I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 flames. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and comment if you like this type of content. And I'll see you guys next time.